Louisiana Free Patriot here once again on this wonderful November morning here in Louisiana. Starting to get cool. Woke up this morning, went to work, got to work, and started hearing about this madman who decided to drive through a parade in Waukesha, Wisconsin. What would drive a person to drive not across a parade route, but down through the parade route, plowing over elderly women, men, children, everybody? Just last I heard, I think it's 48 injured, 5 dead. The 5 dead are all elderly. One of the ladies, I think, was 88 years old, and 2 children in critical condition in the hospital. I can't fathom that. The same as I couldn't fathom the guy who did I think it was in Las Vegas, the shooting, the guy up there that they said had all the assault rifles and was firing machine gun fire down on the crowd, killing and injuring people. They wanted to call him a terrorist, but they won't call him a terrorist. They won't call this driver, and I'm not going to say his name. I know his name, but I'm not going to give him that. He's a terrorist, a known BLM supporter, known protester with a violent criminal past, who was recently released after beating up his girlfriend or ex-wife or whatever, and then trying to run her over with a car. Yesterday, the police were called out to a domestic disturbance, which he just left from the scene. There was no police chase, no cops hot in pursuit. And I watched the videos. He pulled past the trail vehicles in the parade route, ran by them, and got to the first group of people standing marching. He pulled up behind them and waited 5-10 seconds, and then floored it down the parade route, plowing through people, not turning off, not trying to get away, but purposely plowing through innocent people at a Christmas parade. He's anti-American. If you caught any of his stuff on Facebook before they closed him all down, because it's shut off. You can't find him now, or I couldn't find it. I put search his name, and it said not available. No profiles of this type, of this name. So this is what we have to look forward to. People say, well, not people, Dems say we need gun control because guns kill people. Here's a prime example. 48 injured, 5 dead. Vehicular manslaughter. And by him stopping, he had time to think about what he was doing. So that's not even manslaughter. It's first-degree murder and attempted murder, all the way down. Reports, what I've got, listening to the police briefing and all of that, it was an officer shooting into his vehicle that made him stop. If we would have had people on that parade route armed and ready to defend everybody, it might have stopped a lot sooner. Instead of him going through blocks, city blocks, and then out the barricade on the other side before the parade made its turn. The only way to stop a bad person with a gun is a good person with a gun. The only way to stop violence is with violence. It's cut and dry. That's the story of history. Because if you try to stop violence with non-violence, they steamroll right over you. You don't exist. You're barely even a speed bump. They say he's not a terrorist, that he just acted alone. But this is the preliminary report. I think he just hated white people. He saw all these white people marching to the parade, loving Christmas, loving America. From what I understand, Waukesha, which I'm probably mispronouncing it, is a Norman Rockwell type of community. Where kids can run and play. They don't have any fears, really. It's old school. Where you can leave your doors open and unlocked most of the time. Neighbors look out for neighbors the way we're supposed to be. Neighbors taking care of protecting neighbors. But nobody saw this coming. It's gonna get worse. There's gonna be more incidents as we push and fight back against them. As far as the government goes, peaceful non-compliance, because they have not brought any violence against us. So we do not comply with these mandates, with these freaking executive orders that go against the Constitution of the United States of America. The mandate specifically goes against the 14th Amendment. It is a direct threat to my life, liberty, and property. So we deal with them with peaceful non-compliance because they have not brought violence against us. And not all BLM supporters, not all of them are bad people. They're misguided. They're falling into the rhetoric, their ignorance, because they haven't seeked out the truth. But there are those amongst them that only want to cause destruction. And then there's Antifa, who only wants destruction, to destroy America as it is, to rebuild it in a socialist, communist utopia. That utopia never will exist. It never can. Socialism and communism look great on paper until you put the human equation into it. With the human equation, it fails. because there will always be those who want to abuse the system. There will always be those who want to become powerful, more powerful than anyone else, to control and manipulate people. There'll be those who want to do nothing but gain everything. And thus is why a socialist system, a communist system, will never and can never work. For those of these Antifa and BLM members that want to become violent and bring violence and destruction against us, and when the law stands back and says, we can't do anything, we're not going to do anything, we're just going to let them burn down our town, attack people and kill them, and we're not going to do anything, we can't do anything to save you. All we can do is respond after they've beat you up and killed you, and maybe get you to the hospital or the morgue. That's all we can do, because that's what was going on with Kyle Rittenhouse. The cops and the fire department, EMS, were not responding. That's why Kyle went out there with those guys, with the militia members, which he actually was not a member of. He was just a friend. But he went out there to save and protect. We need more people to do this, to stand up. They want to march, they want to do this, fine. You have that right. But we need to line the streets. Let them know that they're not going to destroy anything. And if they do, citizens arrest. They're committing felonies. Arson, burglary, destruction of private property, felony convictions. And you can perform a citizen's arrest. Bring a bag of tie wraps. Secure them and hold them for law enforcement. And when they become violent on us, then we got to do what we got to do. But remember the rules. You can only go one step above. As I was taught when I worked corrections, you give verbal orders. They don't comply. You go to soft, empty hand to bring them into compliance. They do not comply with soft, empty hand. You go to hard, empty hand. Hard, empty hand doesn't bring them into compliance. Intermediate weapons, batons, a staff, a stick, non-lethal force. You use pepper spray. Bring them into compliance. If they pull a weapon or attack at set with overwhelming numbers, or they bring weapons against you to cause grave bodily injury or death, then you are within your rights to use lethal force. If law enforcement cannot protect us, cannot protect our towns, they cannot protect our communities, We, the people, have to protect them. We have to protect our families. We have to protect our loved ones, our investments, our livelihood. We have to protect this. The sad thing is, BLM and Antifa, they are following suit with the Sons of Liberty. If you look back historically, they would burn buildings, they would riot, even killed a couple people. They would tar and feather politicians publicly. And it was only 3% of the population, the colonial population, that defeated the British. If we don't want to lose America, we have to squash these Antifa and BLM movements and keep them from becoming violent. They can move, they can protest, they can march, they can do whatever they want, as long as they're peaceful. Like, I don't agree with NFAC when they were all big and marching all over the place. But here in Louisiana, when they came down, we were there. And they knew it. And they did have somebody, wasn't them, New Black Panther Party, that decided they wanted to do something stupid and accidentally misfired his weapon. And I had to take him into custody and hold him for law enforcement. In the middle of hundreds of people, he fires off a round into the ground and didn't realize it because he was chambering his weapon. He was charging his weapon with his finger on the trigger. It scared him. But he was moving in to do some dirty work. And I stepped in and stopped him. Kyle Rittenhouse was trying to do good. And he tried to get away from violence. And they hunted him down and they chased him down like a dog. And then their family members and everybody wants to get mad because those guys were put down like dogs. You act like a dog, you get treated like one. You want to be violent, you will be treated as such. NFAC was allowed to protest here, and they did what they needed, what they came to do. And that's okay. They have that right. We were there to make sure it didn't get violent, and it didn't. And the first piece where it tried to get violent, it was stopped almost instantly. I was on him within 2 seconds from his first round being fired. That's where we need to be. And we need to be out there in numbers. That's how we stop it. That's how we protect our cities, our communities. We have to be willing to sacrifice. We have to be willing to go out and do what needs to be done. We have multiple fronts on this war for our freedom. Not only are we fighting the tyrannical government that's trying to take our rights away, but we also have world powers that are trying to take our rights away. And then we've got domestic terrorists, Antifa and BLM, trying to destroy our government and our country. So we've got 3 fronts we're fighting right now. But if we can stop or contain the Antifa and BLM, we can kill the violence. We can stop it for the most part, or keep it from becoming a mass murder situation, much like this guy driving through these people. Driving through that parade. God. Get in your communities. Educate. Research. Pass your knowledge on. Not conspiracy theories, but give them with truth. Hard knowledge. You won't win everybody over, but you'll win some. You may open the eyes of quite a few that you don't even realize it. But we need as many people as we can. We've got to save this nation. If you're not working, if you're shut down because you refuse to get the vaccine, God bless you. And I wish you a bright and beautiful, glorious future. But if you're not working and you're out there, while you're searching for a job, you need to be out there protesting. Shutting down businesses that are forcing people to get these mandates, get these vaccines. Shut them down. Push for community-wide, statewide days of where everybody just doesn't go to work. Shut it down. Peaceful non-compliance. That's how we win this. Nothing gets done without the people. The government cannot exist without the people. A government governs with the consent of the governed. We just got to be loud enough to where they realize we're not backing down. They need to. We'll win this, but we have to be consistent and we have to persevere and be ready to sacrifice. Louisiana Free Patriot here. God bless each and every one of you. God bless these United States of America. Check out Zombie Farmer. He's on the same page. We are the sheep. They are the sheep. Some of us are sheepdogs. Many of us are lions. We're here to protect our people, defend our nation, and defend and help those who cannot help themselves. That's what we do. Check out Zombie Farmer if you're not a member of him. Oh, and December 10th is being asked for a nationwide don't go to work day. We'll call it a senior grown up skip day. I remember when we were in high school, senior year had senior skip days. Let's do a adult version of it. If you own a business, shut it down for one day. December 10th. If you got vacation time, tell your boss we're not coming in, take your vacation time. Call in sick. Shut it down. That's how we win this. God bless y'all. Good evening. And pray for all the families of those injured and died in Waukesha. And pray this guy gets swift justice of the most severe kind. Good night, y'all. God bless.